Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. And if you are now tuning in, my name is Leslie Ann Wells Caton, filmmaker, general manager, and film commissioner of the Trinidad and Tobago Film Company. You've seen our films. Those films were absolutely incredible from Trinidad and Tobago. Let's welcome with us tonight Dylan Quesnel, Director of Regeneration, and Gian Jennings, Director of tonight's feature film, Grace and Salim. Both films just made their Canadian premieres at the Caribbean Tales International Film Festival. After the question and answer period, we will announce tonight's raffle winner. Welcome, Dylan. So I'm going to give you a bit of information about Dylan. Dylan is a freelance director of photography. Dylan has honed his skills primarily as a documentary filmmaker with proficiencies in the camera department. His first independent documentary film, Small Change, has been to 6 film festivals, 2 of which were in Seattle and Toronto, respectively. He has worked on many narrative, documentary, corporate, and commercial productions for clients such as BP and Scotiabank, and independent productions such as The Cutlass and She Paradise. Dylan's film Small Change played in 2017 at the Caribbean Tales International Film Festival and is currently available on Caribbean Tales TV. For those of you now joining us who weren't able to watch the films, let's take a look at the trailer for Regeneration.
Korean in Trinidad and Tobago has been left unregulated for quite some time.
This company has taken it upon themselves to embark on a rehabilitation program.
So as we continue to mine for these aggregates, we do something to restore the land so that it is usable for future generations.
My dreams and hope for the project is to see more quarries getting involved into the project.
I think it's a great symbol of the possibilities for people in the quarry industry around what they could do about environmental rehabilitation.
Well done, Dylan. And I must say, it's a documentary you must watch. Now, let's welcome Gian Hennings, director of tonight's feature film, Grace and Salim. Gian, hi. So, Gian is a writer and director from Trinidad and Tobago. Gian Hennings first explored his interest in the divergent cultural identities that makes up his country within his feature-length student film, Back to Freeport, in 2017. He continues this exploration into personal connections via individuals' significantly different cultural backgrounds, now encompassed within the romantic story Grace and Salim. Gian hopes to continue his exploration of social cultural connection within his beautifully distinct island home of Trinidad and Tobago via continued experimentation and a deep love of film. Let's take a look at the trailer Grace and Salim.
You are the salt, and I am the pepper. People tend to not like me at first, but try to get rid of me when you get a taste for my brew.
You feel sorry for me?
Yes, I feel sorry for you.
Your own sister doesn't even acknowledge your own existence.
Do that.
Oh, grow some balls, man.
In your expert knowledge of all things Trinity food.
People don't realize how much they need you, but you are always around and reliable.
Famous Salim, the way she described you.
Look, be nice. You like to mess with pretty things?
No, I never mess with that pretty thing.
And when you mix them together just right, they're perfect.
Voodoo like salt and pepper.
Right, so now we're all up to date. Let's start the talk back. Now, remember, if you have questions, feel free to comment and we can direct it to the filmmakers. Right, but I want to ask a few questions before you guys ask your amazing questions. And my first question goes to Dylan. Dylan, when and where did you get the inspiration to do a documentary film on the quarrying?
I would say the inspiration came since 2014, which was the inception of I Am Movement, which was the non-for-profit that the documentary is done on behalf of. So I Am Movement was formed by a group of young people that were passionate about creating positive social and environmental change. And doing quarry rehabilitation has always been a big project on my mind, just from driving past Sangre Grande, just seeing all those big open quarries, like right there on the side of the road. It's not even hidden. And it just kind of struck a nerve with me. And we finally got the chance to partner with National Quarries. Thanks so much to them. And it kind of took its own course from there.
And how long did it take to make the documentary?
So from the first day of filming to the final cut, it was just over 2 years. We started at the National Day of Caring in 2018, I think it is. May 2018 was the National Day of Caring at the National Quarry site. And then I've just been visiting the quarry site regularly for the past 2 years.
So do you see this being a beginning episode in terms of, are you planning to make a volume 2 or continuation in terms of this documentary?
In terms of the content, not necessarily, but definitely in terms of the conversation. To me, it's a case study to take to other quarries to show them that it can be done. And my goal really is to take the conversation forward, to get more quarries on board and put the energy behind that rather than a volume 2, I would say.
Perfect. Now, if you have any questions, remember to put in the comments. Let's find out from Dylan the entire inspiration behind regeneration. Now we come to you, Gian. So tell me, you did a Christmas film with a Muslim family and is she agnostic? Tell us about the inspiration behind creating Grace and Salim.
Well, in terms of doing a Christmas film, like I was a kid in the 90s, and for some reason, every film I loved had Christmas in it, like Home Alone, Gremlins. So I told myself as a kid, if I ever make a movie, it's gonna have a Christmas theme in it somehow. So mission accomplished, I guess. The thing with the Muslim character, being from my country, there's a lot of Muslims, Hindus, Christians. We all mixed, and it's just a matter of life that we talk to each other. I always told my friends I find it strange we're watching films, and whenever it's a Muslim character, it's a shortcut for something, normally something very negative. So I was hoping with this film I could show that being Muslim is just a part of someone's life like anybody else. It's an important part, but it's not the only part.
So in terms of the characters, they always say life imitates art. Were you inspired from a personal experience in terms of the storyline? Yeah. All right. So, okay, great. So Dylan, so tell us in terms of, I'm noticing a trend with you with environmental films.
Yeah.
Is that your call to action, your status as a filmmaker? Tell us.
So it has been my call to action, and it's definitely because of my love for nature and just want to have people respect it, really. But it definitely is not my only place, I hope, in film. I'm really excited in exploring narrative. But it definitely has been my place for a long time. And I do look forward actually to exploring the narrative world.
Awesome. So Dylan, Curleen said regeneration was amazing. Kudos to the director.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful to see that initiative. Dwight Otter said, oh, this is for Julian. Well done. What a beautiful, funny, uplifting story, Grace and Salim. And for Dylan, saying excellent choice to do such a documentary. So Dylan, in terms of persons who are not from Trinidad and Tobago, but really applaud the initiative, what can they do in terms of supporting the cause?
In terms of supporting the cause, being one of the founders of our movement, I would first of all just say go and check out our page. And even, sometimes people think, oh, well, I'm not on the ground, I can't help. But being in this age of technology, everybody's connected in some way. And something as simple as getting the word out there, as sharing a video, sharing that contact. They have these global environmental funds that are international, and somebody might look at the documentary, be inspired, have an affiliate, or be in correspondence with somebody that might know somebody that has access to these funds. And the world is so connected in such a bizarre but beautiful way now that even though you're not here, you can totally make a difference with something as simple as a share or forwarding an email. You know what I mean? And
Correct.
it's really powerful, the difference that people could make with a couple of clicks of a keyboard nowadays,
Exactly. All right, so Gian, welcome back. Now
Yep.
tell me, in terms of Grace and Salim being a comedy, what did doing a comedy, what was the relevance of using a comedy standpoint, or at least to you, that comedy, emotional, romantic side? Tell us about the motive, the intention behind the genre.
Well, I like comedy films. I mean, that's number one. Also, I find comedy, it allows you to comment on parts of society in a fun way. So in a drama film, which I do like, you basically have to say this film's about this. It's about the Muslim experience. Strangle you with the a message. Whereas in a comedy, you're enjoying it, and you may get a message beyond just the humor of the film, which is my favorite kind of comedy films. I learn a lot and I have a good time. So hopefully people experience that with our film.
Perfect. Dwight is asking you, Gian, I found the portrayals to be very authentic and relatable. Can you tell us how you chose your leads?
Well, the main lead, Kyle, the Salim character, he was in my student films, and he was in my student feature-length film, Back to Freeport. So I knew this production would be really tough. We had like 15 days to shoot the whole thing. So I needed somebody who I had a good relationship with. And Siobhan, she came into audition for the film, and she blew me away, and I took a risk, and she came through so hardcore. Like, she was an amazing person to work with, basically.
Awesome. So, question for Dylan, or really a statement from Curleen. Dylan is to be commended for really having such a focus at a young age. So, Dylan, you're really getting a lot of commendations based on doing such an amazing project in the regeneration aspect. So, for Dylan, tell us what's your next project?
First of all, I would really like to say that the commendation really goes towards the people of Sangre Grande, because the success really is pivoted in a very exponential positive way when people from the community are involved, instead of importing labor from outside communities. When you teach people in the communities, it's really powerful because they live there and it empowers them. In terms of next projects coming up, I am working on a documentary feature with Alex Warner. I'm actually going to shoot some B-roll footage with her tomorrow, so that's really exciting, because that's the first documentary project that I'm working on that I can relinquish director role to Alex and focus on camera. So that's really exciting. I can focus more on the cinematography. And you can please go check that out on Facebook. It's the Untold docu-series, and I'm really excited for that.
You want to give us a little bit of a tiny little teaser in terms of what it is about?
So it's about incarcerated reform. So it's about the importance of educating and keeping inmates mentally active and enabled, because these people are people, and a lot of times people don't understand that. They think of an inmate and they just put a blanket, it's a blanket statement, they're like, okay, you are this person, but they're all individual people, and they're with individual emotions and personalities, and more than half, I would say, of those people are so incredibly intellectual. And if you don't put these, it's really a waste of human capital. And it's really sad, especially in small island developing states, we have such limited resources. It's really a shame to see such human capital go to waste.
Well, we're looking forward to that documentary, Dylan.
So am I.
For Gian, Janet here said, "My son is Muslim, and he loved the way you treated the aspect of the film. So you are reaching authentic stories based on your storyline. You're reaching persons. Gian, is there anything you want to say to actual young persons who are Muslims and celebrating or not celebrating during Christmas time?"
You have to say to Muslims. Hi. No, just I'm glad people relate to the film. Honestly, that's the best compliment that I've gotten from people who've seen the film. Like, being in the film festivals are great, but when somebody comes up and says they feel like I respected their culture, and like, I had a lot of friends growing up who were Muslim, so this is very much a film that's dedicated to them, to people who are Muslim and who feel represented in films. So yeah, thanks.
And Gian, another question: why did you choose to leave the end of the film so wide open?
Well, thanks for noticing. Basically, I thought it'll be a cool experiment if people enjoy the film and I get the opportunity to check up on these characters in like 5-10 years. So the idea is like the Grace and Salim series of books, if you allow me to be super hoity-toity and pretentious. So basically, like, this is the beginning of their relationship. We check up on them in 10 years, and maybe we'll see 3 more stories, and then 3 more stories, and then 3 more stories. And we can see my actors getting older and older as the years go by. So yeah, it's purposefully left open. It's up to you. I think they're gonna make it. I mean, it's up to you to see your interpretation of the relationship. But yeah, thanks. Maybe in 10 years.
A longitudinal study or a longitudinal love story.
Yeah.
All right, so question for Dylan. What method, well, both of you all actually, we're going to deal with funding. And Dylan, how did you secure funding to make the documentary?
So that goes back to 20, I think it's 16, it is, with Small Change. Because Small Change and most of my environmental documentaries have been done on behalf of Small Change, because I'm of I Am Movement, because I'm a founder of I Am Movement. And I Am Movement was formed with people in mind to bring certain attributes to the team. So I was brought on board to bring the media to the team, so to speak. And we did Small Change, which was the first environmental film, and it was on our Trinidad and Tobago's dependence on the oil economy and how dangerous that is in today's economic landscape. And we did that totally out of pocket. I got drops everywhere. I borrowed cameras, I borrowed lenses. Like, it was a crazy experience. And what that did for us was incredible. It showed future sponsors the worth of content. So for all future projects that happened after Small Change, we were able to secure funding within the grant specifically for content creation. Now, it may not be a big grand amount, but it was enough to say, okay, I can do this, and I would have done it anyways, because it's my passion, to be very honest. Probably shouldn't be saying that, but that's how we did it. It started with Small Change being done out of our own pocket, and it snowballed into securing really small pockets of funding for content creation.
That's fantastic. Gian, tell us about Grace and Salim and how you secured funding.
Yeah, the funding question. So basically, I had this script there that I wrote a while ago, and the government released a call for 3 first-time feature-length filmmakers to make a movie. I submitted it, and I didn't expect to get a call back. I went to visit my sister, and then they said, "Hey, we're going to make a movie." And yeah, so basically, we got the funding. It wasn't much, just like Dylan. So it was a lot of favors, a lot of film school friends, a lot of Russian, and a dedicated crew who still reminds me every day that I didn't pay them for this movie. So yeah, so ultimately the funding just went to feeding the crew, getting locations, that's how it is right now. Like, we have to work with each other to get stuff done, and the little bit of funding we get is to get the film the best it could possibly be. So yeah, that's how we did it.
Awesome. And of course, we know, in terms of indie filmmakers, we're always trying to find funding. So even if anyone who's listening, we have two incredibly talented filmmakers. Feel free to reach out and support. And we have a comment from Ramabai. I hope I got that correctly. So deeply, Trini. Congrats, Gian, your co-writer and all your crew. Wonderful courtship of two improbable lovers. Unexpected and refreshing. And of course, Curleen for Dylan, definitely the people of Sandy Grande, kudos. That is my late mother's hometown. So you guys are reaching persons all over the world, which is extremely fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Exactly. So in terms of both of you all, what's next? Well, first, tell me your call to action and how persons can reach out and get in contact with you guys, your website, your Facebook page, and your following. And yeah, and then we can almost wrap up our Q&A.
Okay. In terms of call to actions, I just want to say that what I want people to take away from my film more than anything is that solutions to problems oftentimes are a lot simpler than you think. Like in the reforestation, and it's still being reforested, of the quarry, the easiest, not the easiest, but the most effective solution, and was quite easy, is the dumping of organic waste into the quarry, because that helps rebuild the topsoil. And that was one of the easiest mechanisms, and it yielded the best results. And I found that to be applicable to a lot of other things. That it's a lot of times it's simpler, and I don't know, it just works out that way. You know, people tend to overthink things. In terms of reaching out, again, check out the I Am Movement website. You could look me up, and I Am Movement up on Facebook. And yeah, reach out. Let's start the conversation.
Definitely. Gian, what about you in terms of your call to action and how we can contact you?
In terms of the call to action, I guess my main thing would be for people to reach outside their comfort zone. So the world's a big place full of culture. You know, play a Hindi song, talk to a Muslim man, they cool. Like, just try to live beyond your little circle, because I know it's hard with the situation we're in, but you know, being from my country, I feel really fortunate that I know so many different cultures, and I don't see a lot of that in the rest of the world. Yeah, so talk to somebody. And in terms of my contacts, find me on Facebook, Gian Henning. I'm like the only one probably. And yeah, I mean, that's it.
I have one more question, or really rather comment. What is the possibility of both of you all working together on one epic environmental, social, cultural storyline from Trinidad and Tobago?
That would be very epic, and is very possible, because we have worked together before, not on the heads of departments levels, but you know, that would be rad.
Yeah, that'll be cool. We've been lifting gear for a while together. Yeah. It would be cool to like be a HOD for once in a movie.
Yeah. But that would be epic. We'll make that happen.
Yeah, man.
I would definitely look forward, and maybe it would also be the opening night film at the Caribbean Tales International Film Festival, maybe 2022. We'll give you guys 2 years to work on it. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, Curleen, thank you so much. Curleen is saying wonderful job. Thank you. We really want to thank you all for enjoying our Q&A session. And of course, stick around. We do have to announce someone who won the raffle. So we have a raffle winner. And of course, before I go, is there anything else you guys want to say in terms of future persons watching your content?
That's a tough one. I would just say go into films with an open air, you know, because like me personally, I'm not particularly a fan of experimental films, but I remember distinctly going to this one film festival and being absolutely blown away with these films. So that was back in, I think, 2017. So in terms of film, like, just go into it with an open air. And that's a really tough one for me to say. But yeah, in terms of film, do that. And I'd love what Gian said, like talk to somebody. Don't be scared of that physical facade that some people have.
Correct. And as filmmakers, we're always listening and learning and telling the stories. So, of course, thank you guys so much for a wonderful talkback session. I am definitely looking forward to connecting with you all soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Tell the
Leslie.
audience bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. And before we wrap, let's take a look at what's coming up next at Caribbean Tales International Film Festival 2020.
They should watch the film because it will change them, just like it changed me and others who have seen it. Because it's giving you a lens into the mind of a child and what they're going through and how they're processing all of this. I think that's the main, I would say, if anyone said to me, well, why should I watch your film? Why your film? Why not another film? Because this one is coming directly from the lens of a child. Let go!
When is it gonna be over?
That looks extremely amazing. I cannot wait to see the rest of films in the festival. Now remember, we're from September the 9th to October the 2nd. So make sure and get your festival tickets and passes. Now we have a winner for tonight's raffle prize, a basket full of all natural spa goodies from Light It Up Spa in Toronto, Ontario. You can view a complete list of their completely natural products online at lovelightitup.com. The winner is Janilyn James. Congratulations, Janilyn. We will be in contact with you with more details. All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our opening night screening and talkback. What an amazing conversation with Gian and Dylan. It's absolutely incredible to be able to join Caribbean Tales from Trinidad and Tobago. Now, continue to enjoy the rest of the festival. Tickets and festival passes are still available. You can go to www.caribbeantalesfestival.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Caribbean Tales. Tell all of your friends to come check out the amazing content happening at Caribbean Tales. And of course, finally, remember, Caribbean Tales is a charity, so please donate and help us continue to support culturally diverse Black and Brown films and filmmakers around the world. I'm Leslie Ann Wills-Caton. It was an absolute pleasure and have a fantastic evening. Bye.
What are you staring at?
You are the rebel generation.
What did the video say?
Somehow, I think you know what it said.
That sounds fancy. Guadalupe. Where's that at?